Coach George Novak and his staff. All right, Wolverena, put on your shouting shoes and turn it.
Welcome to the Wolverena, the Turtle Creek home of your Woodland Hills Wolverines. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you as the Wolverines take on the Hampton Talbots in a WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 conference matchup. Woodland Hills 4-1 on the season. They are 3-0 within Allegheny 9 play. Meanwhile, Hampton is 0-5 on the season, and they are 0-4 within Allegheny 9. Woodland Hills comes off of a 44-0 victory last Friday against Chartiers Valley, while the Gateway Gators defeated the Hampton Talbots 49-14 in a non-conference matchup at Hampton last week. And Fred, I was speaking to some Hampton folks before the game, and they say this may be the toughest game Hampton has ever played in their 70 years of existence.
Well, they are walking into the historic Wolverena. I mean, this is a very intimidating place to come into, especially if you've never been here before. And, you know, you're facing a team that's really hungry after the loss to Penn Trafford. These guys seem very hungry and eager to move on throughout their schedule. So, you know, certainly that's going to be an intimidating team you're playing against and an intimidating place.
A week ago, Fred, we saw the Woodland Hills defense absolutely dominate Chartiers Valley, and on the offensive side of the ball, we saw 5 Woodland Hills running backs put together terrific performances, all of them around 50 yards or more.
Yeah, defensively, they were able to really shut down the Chartiers Valley running game. And on top of that, Coach Novak mentioned they had gone to zone in the secondary a lot against Chartiers Valley, which did a great job, really ball hawking, a couple interceptions, and I believe they scored a touchdown on one of them.
And let's talk about that Woodland Hills offense now, where, again, Woodland Hills saw 5 running backs approaching 50 yards or better. We saw an absolutely dominating running game. We saw the passing game click a little bit, too.
Yeah, most importantly, the thing that gelled the most, I think, in that last game against Chartiers Valley was the offensive line. They were able to open up holes for the running backs and also give the quarterbacks time back there to survey the field and make some nice passes.
When we spoke with Coach Novak in the pregame show, he said that Hampton very big up front, and they do a lot of non-conventional things, and that's something obviously the Wolverines are going to have to look out for today.
Yeah, and I was looking at their pregame warm-ups, and it looked like they were running an I backfield, which is something that typically over the past 5 years that offense has gone by way of the spread option. You know, if they're able to really push around the front 7 of Woodland Hills with the wet turf and the wet ball, you know, anything could happen.
As we look to the near sideline, the Hampton Talbots wear their white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, blue numerals with the yellow gold trim, blue helmets with the numbers emblazoned upon both sides in yellow with a yellow stripe down the center. Jock DiMatteo, the head coach of the Hampton Talbots. Far sideline, George Novak's Woodland Hills Wolverines wear their black uniforms with the with the turquoise numerals and white trim, turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. Woodland Hills will be kicking off to begin this football game, left to right across your television screen, computer screen, or internet browser, while Hampton will return right to left. Our referee today is Bill Heidekamp, as we are nearly set to get this one going here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. Back deep to return for Hampton is Tyler Steedle. Kicking off for Woodland Hills, as usual, is the sophomore Chucky Hanchett, and we are underway in Turtle Creek, PA, as the ball bounces into the awaiting arms of a up man for Chartiers Valley, or rather for Hampton, who is brought down out around the 35-yard line. The return man, Jack Miller, and the Wolverines bring Miller down right around the 34, where it'll be first down and 10.
It looks like we get an early look of what Coach Novak was talking about with the Hampton unconventional offense. You know, it's something that you have to prepare for, and let's hope the Wolverines did so this week.
So here come the Hampton Talbots. I backfield. Receiver to the left, tight end to the right, and a receiver to that right-hand side as well. And Mike McAllister moves early, and I think that had a lot to do with the fact that McAllister was ready to go, while the Talbots, they set on a quarterback sound.
Encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So it'll be 1st and 5 for Hampton at the 40. Motion man coming from right to left. Again, that eye backfield and play action. And McAllister wraps up the quarterback, but he's able to elude pressure as Ross Anderson runs to the near side and finally will be brought down just shy of the 35 at the 34-yard line by Saeed Holt. But how about waves of pressure by the Woodland Hills defense?
Yeah, they were really relentless coming through there. I thought McAllister was going to have the quarterback Anderson deep in the backfield, but he was able to get away. And then once that happened, the rest of the defense just pursued. And good yardage lost after a little bit of a mistake on first down.
So it's 2nd down and 11 for Hampton after that loss of 6 by Anderson. Again, Anderson steps under center with an eye backfield behind him. Motion man from left to right is Steedle. And running to the right, Anderson. He's going to tuck and run, running to that far boundary. He'll pause and get wrapped up and brought down along that far side. On the tackle for Woodland Hills is Deontay Robertson. And a loss of a couple brings up 3rd and long.
And I think this was a designed quarterback run because it didn't look like there was any wide receivers or tight ends in the formation. But Woodland Hills did a great job of really pursuing after Anderson. I thought he was going to be able to pick up at least a couple yards, but that wasn't going to happen against this defense.
So a loss of 1 after the ball is spotted, and it's 3rd and 12 for Hampton. They'll hand off to the fullback, straight up the gut. Goes that fullback. He'll be brought down as he crosses the 35 out towards the 36-yard line. And after that short gain, it is the punt unit coming on for Hampton.
And a good job by the Wolverine defense of really buckling down after the first play offside penalty by Mike McAllister, really getting after the running back and quarterback for Hampton.
Jack Bish was the fullback on that previous play. As this ball is punted away, Derek Caraway will settle underneath it at the 27-yard line and running to the near side right. Picks up a chip block. Now he'll try to step around a Talbot. Does so. Now sidesteps another one. He's going to reverse his field going to the far sideline. Has some greenery over there as he crosses the 40, cutting it back inside of the Talbot's territory to the near side 40. Still dancing around as he breaks free again. 30, 20, 15, to the 10, to the 5, and Derek Caraway dives to the pylon. They'll say he's out of bounds at the 2, but what a fantastic return for Derek Caraway. Unfortunately, it looks like a good bit of it may come back as there's a flag down around the 37.
I couldn't see what the penalty was for, but it was a great, actually a team effort, specifically an individual effort by Derek Caraway, the way he was able to cut back and make people miss and getting the ball down to the 1.
So again, this flag is right around the 37-yard line, and we will check in with Bill Heidkamp, our referee, to see what this call is.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Woodland Hills will start this drive at the 47-yard line. Still a decent return for Caraway, but the majority of the yardage is taken away.
Wolverines 1st and 10 in counter territory, 47-yard line.
So again, Woodland Hills starting at the Hampton 47-yard line with 9:31 to play. Pass to the near side, complete to Rodney Denard. Denard breaks free inside of the 45, dives over a Hampton Talbot, and he'll be brought down as he picks up the first down just past the 37-yard line.
And I thought Rodney Denard might have been tackled in the backfield by number 6, Tyler Steedle, but Rodney Denard was able to get away from him. I'm sorry, number 32? Either way, it was still just able to get around him and pick up pick up first down yardage on first down.
Yeah, 10-yard gain on that play, and it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the Hampton 37. Handoff, Saeed Holt hesitates, now trying to bounce it right in an ankle tackle right around the line of scrimmage by Alex Bianco. And they'll say it's a gain of a yard for Saeed Holt at 2nd and 9.
Bianco did a great job of not falling for the juke move that Saeed Holt tried to put on him. Was able to get him around the ankles before Saeed Holt could get himself going.
McAllister stepping over the football on 2nd down and 9, pistol formation with Holt behind Whitehurst, 2 receivers left. Whitehurst looking to pass, looking left, throwing left. The pass is complete in the flat. Catching the football is Avram Abramovitz, and he will be brought down over along the far boundary inside of the 25. They'll say he's down at the 21-yard line. A pickup on that play of 15, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
And Abramovitz just got to the lead stick and stopped and then turned back towards Mikey Whitehurst. Mikey Whitehurst delivered a nice football right into the chest of Abramovitz, picking up the first down.
So 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, just outside of the Hampton red zone. Again, the pistol formation with Holt behind Whitehurst. Wing to the left. He'll now motion and crab to the right. Handoff, Holt running right. He'll step inside of the 20, still on his feet, dancing through traffic, crossing the 15. He'll be brought down around the 14-yard line, and a pickup of about 7. And it's 2nd and short for the Wolverines.
And Hampton's learning on that play that you cannot just throw the body at Saeed Holt. It's going to bounce right off him, and he's going to keep going. You really have to hit and wrap him up. And then once you get one person hitting him, you got to get 2 or 3 more if they're going to be successful to get him to the turf.
Tackle finally made by Austin Steedle as it's 2nd down and 3 for the Wolverines. The ball at the 14-yard line. Jawan Hill now in a tailback for the Wolverines. Receiver split to either side. It'll be a play action as Whitehurst rolls to his left. He'll throw towards the goal line, and the pass is incomplete. As Avram Abramovitz not able to pull that one off of his shoe tops. And the incomplete pass, the first of the game, brings up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Adam, and if you look at the replay, you noticed a little shove by the defensive back for Hampton at the end of this play, which could have constituted pass interference.
3rd down and 3 for Woodland Hills. No football at the Hampton Talbots 14-yard line. Whitehurst in the pistol. He'll hand off. Jawan Hill stepping left, picking up a blocker over to that far boundary. Inside of the 5, he'll head towards the pylon. Does he cross it? He does. It's the Woodland Hills touchdown on a pickup of 14 yards.
Jawan Hill did a great job. Actually, really nifty move around the 10-yard line, which really faked the Talbot defender. And then Mikey Whitehurst was actually out there lead blocking for him on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, Whitehurst, who stepped out in front of Hill and actually never made a block, but as Hill stepped inside of him, he was able to reach that ball across the goal line for the Woody High TD. And now Chucky Hanchett on to attempt the point after touchdown, and last week's State Senator Jay Costa player of the game splits the uprights, and it's 7-0 Woodland Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills has opened up an early 7-0 lead on a 14-yard touchdown run by Jawan Hill. And the Wolverines really put together a nice drive there, Fred, from the Hampton 47-yard line all the way down to the goal line. And what I've been impressed with thus far this season is when a long return by the Wolverines has been negated by penalty, it doesn't take the wind out of the sails of the black and turquoise.
No, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. After the penalty is marked off, they just do a great job of really staying focused on the next play and not worrying about the previous one.
Chucky Hanchett will kick off. An end over end kick carrying inside the 15, where Hampton will return it from there. Some open greenery for a moment for Alex Bianco, but he will be brought down at the 29-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Hampton.
Yeah, and what I really liked about that first drive for Woodland Hills was the fact that they mixed in the pass and the run. They weren't just solely dead set on running the ball down the field. They got Abramovitz involved, Rodney Denard in the passing game. So let's hope that Woodland Hills can continue that throughout the course of the game.
High backfield behind Ross Anderson. One receiver left, tight end to the left, and one receiver to the short side right as the handoff will go to the tailback. Breaking free comes Alex Bianco, I believe. They'll pick up about 10 yards. And it should be enough for a 1st down for the Hampton Talbots.
And Hampton didn't really do anything fancy on that play. Just Bianco took the ball off of his left tackle, had some open field, and made the most of it.
Pickup of 10 on that play for Bianco, and it was enough for the first down. As it's 1st and 10 for Hampton, the ball at the 39. High backfield behind Anderson. And the receiver along the near side moved early. Tyler Steedle with the premature movement.
Prior to the snap, false start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So a loss of 5 brings up first down and 15 for Hampton with the football at the 34-yard line. Rain has started to fall again here in Turtle Creek. It's been raining on and off throughout the afternoon and into the evening. As again, the I backfield. Anderson under center, off of play action, rolling to the near side left, has a receiver open along the near boundary. It's caught by Jack Bish, and Bish will drive into Woodland Hills territory where he'll be brought down at the Wolverines' 46-yard line. The ball sprung free, but he was already down, and it's a first down for Hampton with the ball at the Woodland Hills 46.
Yeah, Woodland Hills needs to remember that the quarterback Anderson threw for over 1,000 yards last year, so he's not new to this offense. And certainly, they really need to keep an eye on his his ball faking ability, because they did a great job. Anderson did a great job of getting the defense, on their heels with his ball faking ability.
Bish, the fullback, with a 20-yard pickup on that pass play. And this time the handoff will go to Bianco, and Bianco will be brought down inside of the 45 at the 44-yard line. Pair of Wolverines on the tackle, including Jalen Holloway.
It looks like Hampton really likes to go to that left side with their running game. I guess they have pretty good confidence in their guard and tackle on that side to open up some holes and pick up some decent yards on first down.
Gain of 2, and it's 2nd down and 8 for Hampton with the ball again at the Woodland Hills 45. 44 make it, and it is an I backfield behind Anderson with a tight end and a receiver to the right. Anderson hands off. Bianco driving his way forward. He'll pick up a couple before being brought down by Michael McAllister. And whistles blow. Well, Heidkamp has asked for the clock to stop. Ball will be spotted at the 42, so officially a gain of 2. I think a mouthpiece had come off, or there was an injured player. Make that Jack Bish came to the near sideline, hobbled. And the fullback needs a breather. 3rd down and 6 for Hampton. Ball at the Woodland Hills 42. Anderson steps under center. Receivers split to either side as Steedle motions from left to right, and then Krabs. Bootleg running the near side left comes Anderson. He'll have the first down and more as he'll step out of bounds. A flag is thrown, but the ball out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And Jock DiMatteo, all over Tyler Steedle, as I think he was guilty of a block in the back downfield.
Yeah, that's a shame, because that was a really nice run, a really nice play fake again by Anderson, keeping the Wolverines, running the bootleg with the pursuit going to the left and to the Wolverines' left, and then Anderson just doing a great job ball faking today.
Illegal block in the back by the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
So the spot of the foul was the 31-yard line, so the ball is backed up to the 41-yard line. So a gain of just 1 on that play ultimately for Ross Anderson, and it is 3rd down and 5 for the Hampton Talbots at the 41-yard line. 4:55 to play here in quarter number 1. Woodland Hills on top of Hampton, 7-0. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you on the Woodland Hills Football Network. High backfield behind Anderson. New fullback is in there in Blaze Smith. Looking to the left, the pass by Anderson, looking for Steedle is incomplete. Looks like it may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Well, when you have, it looks like Abramovitz might have been on that right side of the Wolverine defense, standing 6'3". Anytime he sees that ball about to be passed, he's definitely going to get his hands in the air.
You add on top of that, Fred, his leaping ability, which I don't think was involved there necessarily, but he's got long arms. Like you said, he's 6 feet 3 inches tall, and as a basketball player, he's certainly got the ups to deflect passes.
Yeah, I was trying to see who the defensive end on that side was, because I think that's might have been who deflected that pass.
Running to the right goes tailback Alex Bianco. He'll step forward. He's got the first down for Hampton as he's brought down at the 32-yard line. A huge pickup there for Hampton on 4th down and 5.
You know, I'm really surprised that Coach Novak called this offense unconventional, considering this looks very similar to any Wolverine offense between, 1987 and 2005, 6?
Just about that.
Yeah. A lot of I backfield, a lot of what they call the wham, counter plays, and then throwing in the sweep, which we really don't see too much in today's high school football.
High backfield, handoff. Running to the left-hand side goes the tailback Bianco. He'll be brought down inside of the 30 at the 29-yard line. I'll tell you what, Fred, this Hampton offense moving right now.
Yeah, their offensive line is playing very well. They're able to get, they're able to hold off any penetration by the front seven, and then these linemen are actually getting off the linemen, the defensive linemen, linebackers, and getting to the secondary.
Second down and 7 for Hampton. The ball at the Woodland Hills 29-yard line. Anderson steps under center with an eye backfield. Motion man from right to left. And he'll crab and settle. Anderson off of play action, rolls to the near side left. He will dump it off. The pass complete to Tyler Steedle, and he will be forced out of bounds inside of the 20 at around the 18-yard line. And Fred, I'll tell you what, everything that we're seeing here, we did 20 years ago on the football field for Woodland Hills.
Absolutely. That's basically what they ran, was a waggle pass. Quarterback faked it to his left, came back. Faked it to his right, came back to his left, and found the wide receiver open in the flats.
Pickup of about 10 yards, maybe 11 on that play.
Woodland Hills.
And the Wolverines going to take a timeout, and we will too. 3:34 to play in the first quarter. It's Woodland Hills 7 and Hampton 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 7-0 Woodland Hills, but Hampton moving the football on the Wolverines right now. They have it 1st and 10 at the Woodland Hills 18-yard line, as they just continue to move the ball down the field with very old-fashioned offensive plays. Steedle motioning from left to right. Pitch to the right-hand side. The ball carrier, Alex Bianco. He'll step to the line of scrimmage and maybe pick up a yard before being brought down by Asheed Page-Jones, who had a fantastic game a week ago.
Yeah, and we're so used to watching every team that we've seen over the past 2 or 3 years running the spread option offense, trying to get vertical, trying to get more points on the board, but it really seems like Hampton's like turning the clock back with the offense that they're running.
Handoff going to the fullback this time. Blaze Smith pounding his way forward. He'll be brought down inside of the 15, down around the 11-yard line. And all muscle there for Smith as he picks up about 6 yards on that play. Fred, how about the strength of Smith there to elude Asheed Page-Jones and then drive his way forward through the tackle of Amir Collins before finally being brought down?
And that's very odd because Page-Jones is usually one of the more sure tacklers for Woodland Hills, but Blaze Smith listed at 5'10", 190. I mean, it's not a huge number, but he's definitely keeping his feet moving as he's running the ball.
Handoff going to the tailback, Alex Bianco, and he'll pick up the first down inside of the 10, brought down at the 6-yard line. And just an absolute methodical drive thus far for the Hampton Talbots.
Yeah, and then again, they're mixing in the pass and the run. Most of their passes have been misdirections to the flats, but it's not like they're getting vertical on this Wolverine defense, but the Wolverines are falling for the play fake on pretty much every time that they run that play.
Pickup of 5 on that play, and it's 1st and goal for Hampton, the ball at the 6-yard line. Anderson steps under center, sends Steedle in motion from left to right. He'll settle. Play action as Anderson bootlegs to the left. He'll try to step forward. He'll be brought down. No, they'll say he crosses the goal line for a Hampton touchdown of 6 yards.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Woodland Hills didn't get called for a face mask on that. It looked like whoever was engaging Anderson had a handful of his face masks as he crossed the goal line. But again, Woodland Hills falling for the play fake. Anderson did a naked bootleg. Thought he was going to pass it. I thought he was going to pass it initially, but decided to tuck it and run, and then put his head down and got across the goal line for the touchdown.
Well, there was definitely a face mask grab there. Amir Collins grabbed the hold of the cage of Ross Anderson. But the officials did not see it, and still the touchdown for the Talbots, and then the PAT up and in. And with 1:37 to play in the first quarter, it's Woodland Hills 7, Hampton 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills and Hampton are tied up at 7-all with just over 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. And Fred, what a methodical drive by the Hampton Talbots as they just took the ball from their own 29-yard line, an old-fashioned smash-mouth football, a few short passes mixed in there, and they were able to tie this game up at 7-all.
Yeah, they're giving Woodland Hills a taste of their own medicine in terms of running the ball right up the field. Very nice drive by Hampton, mixing in some bootleg, some waggle, and then running the ball right off the left tackle has been really their bread and butter pretty much on that drive.
Kickoff, Sam Whirling. Beautiful kick all the way down to the 1-yard line. And on the return for the Wolverines is, who is that? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he's got himself some room. It is Jawan Hill, finally forced out of bounds as he crosses the 40 out to the 43-yard line. What a return by Jawan Hill, a 42-yarder from the 1 to the 43.
Yeah, and he took that right at his own goal line. His right foot right on the edge of the goal line. Just did a great job of really being visual on that run, just finding some open space and putting Woodland Hills in a good position to start this drive.
1:26 to play here in the first quarter. Woodland Hills again with good field position at their own 43. Jawan Hill usually not back there on those kick returns, Fred. Usually we see Seed Holt back there with Derek Caraway. Handoff going to Jawan Hill, who's running to his right-hand side, and he will be forced out of bounds along the near boundary as he crosses the 45 to the 47. A pickup of about 4 on that play brings up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, I thought actually Hill was going to get more yardage on that play, but the Hampton defense was able to come in, pursue, and then make a short tackle before Hill could get really going.
Nearly 5-minute drive for Hampton. Let's see if the Wolverines can respond to the Talbots TD. Pistol formation. Hill behind Whitehurst. Wing and receiver to the right. One receiver to the far boundary left. End around. Derek Caraway, he's got a crease as he bounces it across the 50, inside of the 45 as he breaks free around the 40-yard line. He's going to come back inside, and he will be brought down inside of the 40 at the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. But what a run by Derek Caraway.
Yeah, a little misdirection by Woodland Hills themselves. Really just looks like it's an end around with a pitch, and then Derek Caraway pretty much does the rest. I mean, picking his way through the Talbot defense. Woodland Hills did a great job of keeping every blocker engaged with their hands inside, not holding, and good pickup for Derek Caraway.
15-yard gain on that play, and I thought what was impressive with Caraway there, Fred, was that he cut it back to the inside, didn't keep going to the boundary. Handoff Hill on 1st down and 10, and Hill will drive his way forward inside of the 35 to the 34-yard line. A pickup of 4, and it's 2nd down and 6. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. We head to quarter number 2 with the scoreboard reading. Woodland Hills 7, Hampton 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. A chilly, rainy night in southwestern Pennsylvania as fall has just struck us last week. 58 degrees. The rain has fallen off and on throughout the evening in this 5A Allegheny 9 conference matchup. Now you may want to know, what is a Talbot? A Talbot is an extinct species of hunting dogs, similar to a greyhound or a mastiff. And the reason Hampton chose it is because that Talbot is on the coat of arms of the House of Hampton from Hampton, England. When Hampton was founded back in the 1940s, that is how they determined that Hampton should be called the Talbots.
Very interesting.
Whitehurst throwing to the right-hand side, and the pass intended for Abramovitz is incomplete, a bit high, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, I didn't think that was terribly too high for Abramovitz. I've seen him leap a lot higher to catch some footballs. It didn't look like Mikey Whitehurst's feet were set as he delivered that ball, and certainly if that's the case, that ball's going to sail on him.
Pistol formation, trips left, 1 receiver to the right of the formation. Whitehurst throws it to the left, complete to Derek Caraway. He's inside of the 30, dancing his way, still on his feet, inside of the 25, and finally forced out of bounds, but Derek Caraway showing nifty moves for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, and you really got to give some credit to the hustle of number 69 for the Talbots. Billy Geist just did a great job of getting down the field. I mean, great pitch and catch by Mikey Whitehurst and Derek Caraway. But, you know, Adam, I'm sure you're happy to see anytime you get a big lineman downfield to make a tackle, that's certainly going to put a smile on your face.
Yeah, he came from his defensive end spot along the near side and was able to track down Derek Caraway along the near boundary after that 11-yard pickup. Handoff, Hill, he's got a crease as he's inside of the 20. Driving his way to around the 15-yard line before being driven back by a trio of white jerseys.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Hill looked to the inside to pick up some more yardage instead of trying to bounce it out. The Talbots have actually done a great job of, working their defense working the ball, trying to work the ball back into the heart of their defense, but. The Talbots are doing a great job of just making solid tackles against these Woodland Hills running backs.
2nd down and 3 for Woodland Hills. The ball at the Hampton 16-yard line. Wolverines doing exactly what they wanted to do to try to respond to a very long Hampton drive. Handoff, Hill. He'll slide his way forward, still on his feet as he approaches the 10-yard line before being pulled down at the 11. A pickup of 5 on that play, and it is 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and Hill's just running right through the heart of the Hampton defense. Just taking the ball from Mikey Whitehurst. Saw a little bit of a crease. And the one thing that we need to understand, and that fans need to understand, is it's a wet turf. I mean, that ball is going to get wet throughout the course of the day, so ball security is going to be very important throughout the course of the game.
Juwan Hill, the tailback. 2 receivers right, including a wing. Handoff. Hill slides on that wet turf, but still able to keep his feet inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and he will cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown of 11 yards.
I think that slide might have helped him. After Juwan Hill made contact with the Talbot defensive lineman, he looked to his right and saw that the field was wide open and then ran right for that pylon for the touchdown.
Great job there by Juwan Hill to find the crease and then turn on the Jets for that Woody High touchdown. It's 13-7, Woodland Hills leading Hampton. And we will see if Chucky Hanchett can give the Wolverines a 7-point advantage. Good snap, good hold, kick up, and that kick is no good, wide to the left. And with 10:24 to play in the 2nd quarter, it is Woodland Hills 13 and Hampton 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Back in Turtle Creek where Woodland Hills leads Hampton 13-7. We saw Hampton put together a methodical drive, answering a methodical drive by the Wolverines. Now Woodland Hills does the same, Fred, with a 57-yard drive capped off by an 11-yard touchdown run by Juwan Hill, his 2nd TD of the game. But now we need to see if this Woodland Hills defense can buckle down.
Yeah, again, for the defense to be successful again against this Talbot offense, they really need to stay at the backside. Linebacker and defensive end really need to stay home. Make sure they're reading that play fake, and hopefully get a reception or force a fumble with the return.
Now Woodland Hills does the same, Fred, with a Hands it on to kick it off. Again, Woodland Hills with a 6-point lead after Leadership missed the PAT by Juwan Hill. And over end kick down to the 12-yard line where Hampton will bring it up on the return. Steele will be brought down up around the 30-yard line by Rodney Denard, and it'll be first down and 10 for Hampton at the 29. 10:27 to play here in quarter number 2. And Hampton, who Coach Novak talked about in the pregame show as being unconventional, is pretty much old-fashioned, which has become unconventional here in the 21st century.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that they're able to get as much yards against this defense as they have. The defense has been pretty stout most of the season, and Hampton's just doing their thing.
Handoff going to the fullback up the middle. And it appears that Jack Bish is back in the lineup for Hampton, and he is, as he takes that carry across the 30 to the 31-yard line for a pickup of 2.
And against an offense like this, your linebackers have to be very active, and they have to read the guards as soon as that ball is snapped. Your guards are going to dictate what happens in this offense. So, Ashee Page-Jones and others are going to have to really pay attention to the guards on this drive.
High backfield, handoff going to the tailback, Alex Bianco, and he will drive his way across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And again, handoffs going left and right, pushing the ball forward for the Talbots.
And I think it's going to set up the play action or the waggle or naked boot coming up on this play.
So we'll call it a 4-yard gain to the 35 as the initial spot was at the 36, but the officials respot the ball at that 35. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills up by 6. Anderson steps under center. Wing and receiver to the left, tight end to the right. Now that wing motions from left to right as the handoff will go to Bianco, and he will slide through an arm tackle, driving his way up towards the 40-yard line before Ashee Page-Jones makes the tackle at the 38. It's a pickup of 3, and it is 4th down and 1.
And what do you do? What does the Talbots head coach do? 4th and 1, down by 6. I mean, you've done a great job so far on offense against this defense. Might as well try to give it a shot and see if you can pick up or at least draw Woodland Hills offsides on a hard count.
Now the problem here is, Fred, if they turn the ball over on downs at the 38-yard line, it sets Woodland Hills up with great field position. Conversely, Woodland Hills uber aggressive offensively on top of the fact that Hampton's been able to move the ball on the ground. Anderson under center. And there's that hard count we were talking about. And he barks, and a delay of game, I think, is going to be called. Or will they get the timeout in time? We'll check in with our referee.
Timeout by Hampton. First timeout. No penalty in the play.
So prior to the delay of game, the timeout was taken by Hampton, because the official Bill Heidkamp says that the timeout came in time, at least according to the officials on the near sideline. So there's a timeout on the field. That'll give us an opportunity to step away too. 8:06 to play in the second quarter. It is Woodland Hills 13, Hampton 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports. Now we're going to have to keep it here and not take this commercial break, because the teams run the players on in enough time to thwart our efforts to hear a word from the Triangle Bar and Grill.
Sam whirling the punt.
So it's 4th down and 1 after the Talbots tried and failed in trying to draw the Wolverines off sides. So the punt unit on. High snap, but it is corralled by Whirling, and he'll get a wobbler away. They'll take one bounce into the hands of Derek Caraway as he runs to the right. Stepping forward now, bursts free, still on his feet, bouncing off of a teammate as he cuts to the right-hand side. Off to the races goes Derek Caraway. I don't see any flags down there on the football field. Into the end zone goes Derek Caraway for a huge punt return for a TD.
And that punt return went right up the middle of the field. The only person that got in his way was his own teammate, Quintel Palmer. Other than that, Derek Caraway was pretty much untouched on his way to the end zone.
Great return by Caraway as he took it on the one hop back around the 22-yard line and returned it 78 yards for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
And again, as we're watching the replay, it went right up the middle. Quintel Palmer slowed him down for a little bit. After that, Derek Caraway was able to get back up to full speed and into the end zone.
Chucky Hanchin on to attempt the PAT. Good snap, good hold, and this one is up and in. And with 7:46 to play in the second quarter, Woodland Hills leading the Hampton Talbots 20-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Follow the Woodland Hills Football Network on Facebook, facebook.com/Woodland Hills Football Network, with updates and info about the Wolverines all year long. 78-yard punt return for a touchdown by Derek Caraway puts the Wolverines on top 20-7 after Chucky Hanchin buries the point after touchdown. And Fred, you talked about it. Just straight up the middle went Derek Caraway, and he really only needed a block or two as he headed down the field to bring that one into the end zone.
Yeah, Hampton must have thought that Derek Caraway was going to take it to the outside, because that's where pretty much everyone was. But Derek Caraway just took it right through the heart of the punt team and right into the end zone.
A bouncing kick by Chucky Hanchin will be returned to around the 36-yard line, and then Sidney Summers comes up and buries that Hampton return man at the 36, and that's where the drive will start for the visiting Talbots.
And as you can tell, when Woodland Hills, when they're on their defensive game and they're able to shut down Hampton, good things are going to happen. But Hampton's probably going to have some fight left in this game, and certainly this drive is going to indicate that right here.
High backfield. Back in at fullback is Blaze Smith as the quarterback Ross Anderson steps under center, with receivers split to either side, and Anderson drops back, then steps forward, and he'll be brought down after a 2-yard gain. Tackle made by Mike McAllister, and a big D lineman down at the bottom of the pile as well in DeVega Bird.
Yeah, I can't tell if that was a design quarterback draw or Anderson didn't like the coverage on the outside, because it looked like he just looked to his left, took 2 steps back, and then decided to run.
This is the 4th carry of the game for the quarterback, Ross Anderson, and finally he is in positive territory, even with the 6-yard touchdown run. And as Anderson steps under center, some movement along the defensive line by Woodland Hills is going to cost them 5 yards.
Encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
So it'll be second down and 3 for Hampton, the ball at their own 43-yard line after the penalty.
And we know Anderson's able to bark out some signals, but Woodland Hills is really biting on it. They didn't bite on a 4th down, but certainly Anderson got him on that last play.
Motion man from left to right as the handoff goes to the tailback, Alex Bianco, and he will drive his way to the 45-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Gain of 2 on that play for Bianco.
Yeah, if ever Hampton was ready to run their bootleg or waggle play route, now's the time, because it seems like with a short yardage situation, you have the Wolverine front 7 itching to watch one of these running backs with the football, but that could lead to a nice play fake and something in the flats.
Handoff going to the fullback. The ball carrier Blaze Smith drives his way forward for a 2-yard gain to the 47-yard line, with first down for Hampton.
And yet again, I am wrong, because Hampton decided just to take the fullback and power his way, for those 2 yards and pick up the first down.
First down and 10 for Hampton, the ball at the 47. Now, Fred, we've seen Woodland Hills jump defensively 2 times thus far today, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Woodland Hills, the defensive line is set, while Hampton, they're in a 2-point stance. The quarterback steps under center and calls it down, what they're not really accustomed to in today's day and age, and I think that's causing some of that early movement. Anderson running to the left. Looked like it was a design pass play, but he was able to tuck and run and pick up positive yardage out around the 45-yard line of the Wolverines. A pickup on that play of about 8.
Yeah, I couldn't see who the cornerback on the other side of the field was for Woodland Hills, but they did a great job in coverage. And then once Anderson saw that there was one-on-one coverage and it was solid, he just decided to tuck the ball and run and picked up good yardage on first down.
5:38 to play, second quarter. Clock stopped here in Turtle Creek as Woodland Hills holds a 13-point lead over the Hampton Talbots, but Talbots moving the ball again. High backfield. Ross Anderson steps under center, motions a man from left to right, bringing two receivers to the right of the formation. Pitch to the right as Alex Bianco on the carry. He will be wrapped up and brought down as he crosses the 45 to the 44-yard line. On the tackle, Jaquan Smith.
And Jaquan Smith read that from the time that play started. He just came up from his cornerback position, and I don't know if Bianco saw him because it seemed like once Smith made contact, he was a little shocked that somebody was there.
42 yards on the ground right now for Alex Bianco. Third down and 1 for Hampton with the ball at the Woodland Hills 44. Anderson steps under center. He will hand off to Bianco, who falls forward for a Hampton first down, a pickup of about 2. Tackle made by Asheed Page-Jones.
And Talbot and Hampton again working the ball down the field. They don't seem like they have a lot of urgency because they're running the ball just right up the middle of the field, but they're doing a good job of getting first downs and continuing this drive.
Clock winding here, 4 minutes, 35 seconds to play. Second quarter, Woodland Hills up by 13. Anderson steps under center. Hands off to the tailback, Bianco. He's got a crease as he's inside of the 30, still on his feet, running to the far boundary to the 20, still on his feet to the 15, and he'll finally be brought down around the 10-yard line. A huge run straight up the middle for Bianco.
Yeah, you give a lot of credit to your offensive line, who they are doing an absolutely fantastic job against the front seven for the Wolverines. Be able to get a blocker on a defender, and Bianco's showing a little bit of speed getting to the outside as well.
33-yard pickup there for Bianco, and he now has 77 yards on the ground. Fred, a week ago, the Woodland Hills defense allowed, I believe it was 34 yards of total offense by Chartiers Valley. So quite a difference here today. Motion man from left to right as the handoff will go to Bianco. He runs to his right. He'll drive his way forward, picking up a yard, maybe 2, as he crosses the 8. They'll say he's down right around the 7-yard line, so a pickup of 2. Maybe a yard and a half, brings up second down and goal with the ball right at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of this drive, the linebackers had to be very active if they were going to be successful on this drive. And really, I haven't seen a lot of solid linebacker play from Woodland Hills on this drive. Let's see if that can change right now.
3:22 as the clock continues to roll here in the second quarter, with Woodland Hills holding a 13-point advantage. Motion man from left to right brings 2 receivers to the right of the formation. Play action as Anderson's now pressured. He'll step out, running to that far boundary. Can't turn the corner, though, as the Woodland Hills defense shows lots of speed there. And Anderson will get no further than the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up third down and goal.
And I was really shocked that Woodland Hills didn't get a flag. It looked like whoever had his arms around Anderson was trying to lift him up and do an old school Greco-Roman wrestling move. And luckily for Woodland Hills, the officials kept their flags in the pocket.
Tackle on the play for Woodland Hills by Damian T. Thomas, and it is third and goal. Handoff, Bianco running left. He'll drive his way forward inside of the 5. He's down near the 1-yard line as there was just a crease for a moment, and he was able to spring through there. That'll bring up fourth down and goal for the Hampton Talbots. The ball will be set at the 2-yard line. Pickup of 7 there.
And Hampton has a little bit of a decision to make because they have a solid kicker in number 1, Sam Whirling. But, you have momentum on your side right now with the way this drive is going.
So fourth and goal for Hampton. The ball just shy of the 2-yard line.
Timeout on the field. That's their second timeout of the half.
So timeout takes the time, or Hampton takes the timeout rather. We will too. 1:40 to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills leads Hampton 20-7 here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Follow the Woodland Hills Football Network on Twitter, twitter.com/WHFootballNet for coverage of the Wolverines throughout the season and beyond. It'll be 4th and goal for Hampton, the ball at the Woodland Hills 2-yard line. Bunch formation to the right as Anderson steps under center. He'll hand off, the handoff to Bianco, and he will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He drives his way to the 1, the whistles blow, and I don't think he was able to get that ball across the goal line. Turnover on downs. It'll be Woodland Hills ball at the 1-yard line.
And that is a solid defensive stand for Woodland Hills. That's something they certainly needed after Hampton was able to really matriculate the ball down the field, but to get a goal line stand on 4th down, fourth and goal from the 2, solid effort by the Wolverine defense.
Well, the good news is Woodland Hills was able to thwart a very significant threat by Hampton with the ball all the way down to the Woodland Hills 2-yard line, and the problem is now that this drive starts at the Woodland Hills 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say the 6-inch line, and right now with the wet turf, wet ball, that's certainly ball security right now is going to be very important on these next couple of plays.
Well, let's see what the Wolverines can do here with a very long field to deal with. Motion man from left to right. High snap with the handoff will go to the tailback, and that tailback springs to the far sideline. That's Jawan Hill, I do believe, who steps out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. If they say he got to the 11, it is a Woodland Hills first down. And they will say he did get to the 11, so it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 11-yard line, a gain of 10 for Jawan Hill.
And great job of Jawan Hill of really finding some daylight on the outside and really breaking a tackle around the 1-yard line, and then springing past the lead stick for the first down.
Hand off again. Going to the tailback, Jawan Hill. He is met at the line of scrimmage and then driven back by a pair of Hampton Talbots.
Yeah, it looked like number 53, Jacob Joyce, number 72, Jesse Brzonski made the tackle and did a great job of
timeout. Woodland Hills, second timeout.
keeping everything in front of them and making some nice gang tackles.
Timeout on the field. We'll step away too. 20-7, Woodland Hills leads Hampton. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Second down and 10 for Woodland Hills. The football right around the Wolverines' 11-yard line. Looking to the right, and the pass is complete. One-handed grab by Woodland Hills with the catch. Deontay Robertson, he will be brought down finally at the midfield stripe. What a great catch by Deontay Robertson.
Two things, Adam. I don't think Deontay Robinson was expecting that football, but once he saw it coming to him, he made a fantastic one-handed catch and was able to bring it in and really give some life to this Wolverine offense.
So a 40-yard gain on that pass play from Whitehurst to Robertson. Whitehurst looking right, throwing down the field, and the pass is knocked to the turf, incomplete. Back there on the coverage was Tyler Steedle. He was back one-on-one with Avram Abramovitz, and Steedle won the battle, knocking that one to the turf.
And that's a smart play by Mike Whitehurst, considering the fact that he had another wide receiver on that same side, so he didn't have any over-the-top safety help. And I think that's something that Coach Novak really needs to exploit against this Talbot defense.
Second down and 10 for Woodland Hills. Just under 54 seconds to play as Hampton's going to use their final timeout.
Timeout, Hampton. That's their last timeout of the half.
20-7, Woodland Hills leads Hampton. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills currently sits in third place in Allegheny 9 conference play, though they are undefeated at 3-0. West Allegheny and Upper St. Clair both are 4-0 within the conference, while Woodland Hills is 4-1 overall, but again 3-0 in Allegheny 9 conference play. Wolverines with the ball, second down and 10. As the flag flies along that far boundary. There's a stoppage here. Again, 20-7, Woodland Hills with the lead over Hampton. And Woodland Hills is going to be backed up here from the 49.
False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second, or continues to be second down. Please reset the clock to 53.5 seconds. 53.5.
Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. Next up, Woodland Hills conference game on the road at North Hills next Friday night. One back set as Whitehurst off of play action, looks to his right, throws it straight down the right-hand side, looking for Robertson. He had it in his hands momentarily, but on the way down to the turf, he lost control of it, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike Whitehurst is getting a little bit more confidence back there. He's definitely delivering some nice footballs to these receivers that are catchable, but you know, right now, I don't know if it's a case of the nerves or whatever the case may be, but it looked like Robinson had that ball in his hands and let it fall to the turf.
So 3rd and 15 for Woodland Hills. Wolverines with 2 receivers to either side, and Denard dots the pistol. Whitehurst off of play action, rolls to the near side left. He's going to step and throw, and the pass is intercepted. Stepping up and picking the ball off is Austin Steedle, and Steedle will step out of bounds inside of the Woodland Hills 40 at the 39-yard line.
It was a good job of Mike Whitehurst of initially avoiding the pressure, but you know, anytime you try to throw back across your body into the middle of the field, it's not going to yield, typically doesn't yield positive results, and certainly did in that case for Woodland Hills.
That interception at the Woodland Hills 39-yard line, rather the Hampton 39-yard line, and a very nice return of 23 yards for Austin Steedle.
Now, the one thing we haven't seen from Hampton is a vertical passing game. You know, if they're going to try to get some points on the board in these last 36 seconds, they're going to have to go to it.
Ball at the Woodland Hills 38. Shotgun for the first time today as Anderson looks to the right and will find Tyler Steedle, who's shouldered out of bounds inside of the 35 at around the 33-yard line, to pick up a 5 on that pass play.
And so it looks like Woodland Hills is in a zone defense. They're not pressing. I was looking at the cornerbacks. They're not in press coverage. So, you know, certainly with those 5-6 yard outs that Hampton's accustomed to, certainly can work their way down the field, at least to put themselves in field goal position.
2nd and 5 with the football at the 33. Shotgun again, Anderson looking right, a little hitch and go, and Derek Caraway runs back. He'll pick it off. He's running to the far side right. He's calling out signals to get some blockers. He crosses the 10 to the 15, up the middle to the 20, the 25 to the far sideline 30. Will he be wrestled out of bounds? And Derek Caraway plays center field, picks it off, and returns it from around the 4 out to the 32-yard line.
And Derek Caraway did a great job of not falling for the pump fake by Anderson. And then once Anderson let that ball go, Caraway just ran right down to the goal line, picked it off, and a pretty decent return, you know, considering, you know, a lot of defensive guys aren't really good blockers.
28-yard return there for Derek Caraway, and the Wolverines have the ball yet again at their own 32. Rodney Denard takes the handoff, running left. He'll step forward. He'll pick up the Woodland Hills first down as he gains about a dozen yards out to the 44-yard line. First carry of the game for Denard.
And I'm looking to see if Woodland Hills is going to call another play before the half's over, but actually called a timeout.
Even better, so that'll give us...
Timeout. Wolverines, last timeout.
That'll give us an opportunity to step away, too, with just under 9 seconds to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills leads Hampton by 13 points. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Next week, Woodland Hills takes on North Hills. Kickoff at 7 o'clock next Friday night, but right now it's the Wolverines and the Hampton Talbots here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side left, as the handoff will go to Jawan Hill. He's got a Woodland Hills first down inside of Talbot's territory at the 42-yard line, and Woodland Hills is going to try to race up to the line of scrimmage, clock the ball, and Whitehurst spikes it, and time will expire. I don't think Woodland Hills was set, but conversely, Fred, Bill Heidkamp called for the play clock to start and for the clock to start before the chains were set.
End of the period, halftime.
So I don't necessarily know that I 100% agree with that, considering that while the ball was set, the chains were not.
And you kind of have to wait until that, the chains are set to start the play. But, they're the referees and we're the announcers, so, there's not too much we can do about that.
Well, let's talk about that first half, Fred, where I think Woodland Hills really did a very good job responding to a Hampton Talbots offense that was really able to move the ball on them. And for the first time this year in conference play, we see a conference pro able to move the ball against Woodland Hills.
Yeah, especially in the running game. Woodland Hills has been so stout through the course of the season defensively on the run, but Hampton's doing a great job. Their offensive line are really getting to the defensive line and linebackers, and then even into the secondary, which is paving the way for their running backs to do a great job so far in this ballgame.
Let's talk about the Woodland Hills offense, and really Jawan Hill has been the story, especially running the football today, up over 50 yards, and we've also seen the passing game get rolling.
Yeah, and that's something that certainly needs to get going throughout the course of the second half of conference play. They really need to get things rolling with the pass, because if you become one-dimensional in your offense, everyone's going to expect it and then try to shut that down.
How about Derek Caraway? He has had a terrific football game in all 3 phases.
Yeah, doing a great job offensively. Really nice punt return, in the second quarter, just taking the ball right up the gut of the Hampton punt team, and then playing center field. In the secondary, didn't bite on the pump fake, got an interception down near the goal line, and picked up a nice return to put Woodland Hills in a decent position.
Folks, on the television side, we will be back with the second half momentarily. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Marching Band. And if you're tuned in on MSASports.net, you can stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. Again, your halftime score is Woodland Hills 20 and Hampton 7. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to the Wolverena, where Woodland Hills leads the Hampton Talbots 20-7 here in this WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 conference matchup. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. The Wolverines will receive to begin the second half, right to left across your internet browser, computer screen, or television screen. As Sam Whirling will kick off for the visiting Hampton Talbots. And Whirling with a surprise onside, but the sure-handed Deontay Robertson dives on it, and Woodland Hills will have the ball. First down and 10 at their own 49-yard line. And Fred, as we talked about near the end of the first half, Woodland Hills right now, I think they get a score here and they really get their feet underneath it.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that the Hampton Talbots decided to go with a onside kick, I guess trying to keep Woodland Hills on their toes, but Deontay Robinson was certainly ready for it. But you put Woodland Hills in a prime position to put some points on the board early in this third quarter.
First time we have seen Daniel Jones line up at quarterback for Woodland Hills, and he will hand it off to Jawan Hill, who runs to his right. He'll get met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard deep in the backfield before being hauled down by Blaze Smith. And it'll bring up second down and about 10 and a half.
Yeah, good job by Blaze Smith coming in from his middle linebacker position, reading the play perfectly. A little bit slow developing, I thought, but Blaze Smith was able to make a nice tackle, get his arms around the waist of Jawan Hill and bring him down for a loss in the backfield.
9 carries for about 68 yards for Jawan Hill today. Jones looking right, throwing right. The pass complete to Avram Abramovitz, his second catch of the game, and Abramovitz will be wrestled down after picking up the Woodland Hills first down at the Hampton 39-yard line.
Yeah, we're so used to Abramovitz going vertical down the field, and then both of his catches have both been on little stop routes right at the lead stick and picking up first downs.
12-yard reception there for Abramovitz. He now has 2 catches for 27 yards.
Woodland Hills first and 10 from the Talbot 39.
Daniel Jones in the pistol. Receiver split to either side. He'll drop back straight. He's pressured. He's pressured twice as a flag comes in. Jones will step up. He'll throw down the right seam, and the pass intended for Abramovitz is incomplete, but I think Woodland Hills guilty of some habeas corpus. Checking with our referee, Bill Heidkamp, for his call as he's the one who threw the flag.
Holding back. 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
Well, that penalty happened about 10 yards deep in the backfield, actually 9 yards deep in the backfield. So it brings up first down and
First and 10 Woodland Hills from their own
very
42.
long for the Wolverines. First down and almost 30. First and 29 with the ball at the 41-yard line. Jones in the pistol, trips left. Pressured from the backside as he releases the football. It's complete to Deontay Robertson. He's inside of the 40, cutting his way down to the 35-yard line, brought down to the 33, and the Wolverines pick up a huge chunk of that loss on the first play.
And I think the Talbot defense is so focused on Abramovitz that they're really not paying any attention to Robinson. Robinson was able to really run a 15-yard in, and Daniel Jones threw a nice ball, able to catch it out in front of his body and keep his momentum going.
So 25 of the 29 yards the Wolverines needed for a first down were picked up on that first play. Handoff, Jawan Hill running to the left. He'll pick up the first down and more. A flag came in, though, as Jawan Hill will be wrestled out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The majority of this one is coming back, as a flag right near the line of scrimmage going to go against Woodland Hills offensive lineman Bryce Johnson.
Yeah, you're going to get a block in the back by Johnson. Hill did a great job of avoiding the oncoming tackler, but had some help from Johnson with the block in the back.
Holding by the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat the down.
So the spot of the foul actually was 1 yard deep in the backfield, so the ball will go from the 40 to the midfield stripe. The line to gain is just inside of the Hampton 30, so it's about first down and 20 for Woodland Hills. Or second and 20 for Woodland Hills, as we still have not seen Woodland Hills get a first down after that big loss earlier. Jones looks right, throws right, the pass complete, and over on that far side is Avram Abramovitz. He's twisting, trying to escape tacklers. The Wolverines will pick up about 10 yards on that play, but it is still third down and 10.
And Jones is out there throwing darts in the second half. He's done a great job so far of really reading the defense and finding some open receivers for Woodland Hills. And picked up all of the penalty yards, but it's still third down and 10.
2 receivers left. Jones off of play action, looks to his left, throws to his left. The pass is complete. Avram Abramovitz has the first down as he tries to sag to the right-hand side and pick up more yardage. They'll say his forward progress is stopped at the 26 before being driven back. It's enough for a Woodland Hills first down to pick up a 14.
And what I like that Jones is doing, he's doing a great job of setting his feet before he delivers the ball. A couple of his passes on this drive, he really has just taken the ball from center, has his feet already set, kind of looking in the direction of his receiver, but still making nice, accurate throws and picking up first downs.
First and 10 for Woodland Hills, the ball at the Hampton 26. Wolverine's going to run the end around again to Derek Caraway as he runs from right to left, pauses, then retreats, and he will be brought down in the backfield. They'll say His forward progress was stopped at the 28-yard line, so it'll be a loss of about 2 on the play, bringing up 2nd and a dozen.
And Dan Locke, the defensive tackle for Hampton, really didn't fall for that end around, was able to really keep Derek Caraway in his sights and then making a secure tackle in the backfield.
2nd and 12, Woodland Hills at the 28.
So 2nd and 12 after that loss by Derek Caraway. Incidentally, Daniel Jones comes out, starts the second half at quarterback for Woodland Hills, and is a perfect 4 of 4 for 61 yards. Jones in the pistol, 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side left. Handoff going to Juwan Hill. He's got some room to the right-hand side. He'll cross the 25, inside of the 20. He's got the first down inside of the 15 before finally going out of bounds at the 13.
You lose some tacklers.
I actually say he steps out at the 12, and it's a first down for the Wolverines and a pickup of 16 yards for Juwan Hill.
Juwan Hill has been really successful so far in this ballgame of really bouncing the ball to the outside and picking up really nice blocking by Abram Abramovitz on that last play. Got engaged in his, looked like it was his cornerback out there. Did a great job of just keeping him away from Juwan Hill.
One back set, handoff Hill on the pistol, running to the left. He's inside of the 5. He'll cross the goal line for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And great job of Juwan Hill of keeping that ball close to his body as he was crossing the 2 or 3 yard line. He took a little bit of a shot from Hampton Talbot, but paid him no never mind as he walked across the goal line.
96 yards, 3 touchdowns for Juwan Hill. On to attempt the point after touchdown, Chucky Hanchett as the Wolverines currently hold a 19-point lead. And you can make it 20 as the Wolverines lead the Hampton Talbots 26-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Wolverines 27, the Hampton Talbots 7.
27-7, Woodland Hills leads Hampton. A 12-yard touchdown run by Juwan Hill. The point after touchdown by Chucky Hanchett. The Wolverines strike first in the second half. And Fred, what a great drive to start the second half. And I think what's most notable is how the Wolverines passed the ball with Daniel Jones in quarterback.
Yeah, they were able to pass the ball in some extreme situations. It looked like they came out really hot with the pass, but once Woodland Hills had a couple penalties that pushed them down at a very long distance, they were able to make up those yards with some long passes.
Kick off to the 14-yard line where it'll be returned by Tyler Steedle. And he will drive his way across the 20 to the 23-yard line where Hampton will start their first offensive drive of the second half.
And the most impressive part of that drive is it took a little over 4.5 minutes off the clock to start the third quarter.
Ball spotted there on the 28, 1st and 10, Hampton.
So the Woodland Hills offense overcomes penalties, able to throw the football efficiently. Definitely the best passing attack we've seen by the Wolverines this year. Now let's see what the defense can do as Hampton's been able to move the ball on the Wolverines. Motion man, Tyler Steedle from right to left, high backfield. Handoff goes to the tailback, Alex Bianco. He breaks free to the far boundary. He'll finally be chucked out of bounds by Nazir Taylor, but not before picking up a Hampton first down and a pickup of 17 yards.
And Hampton just ran a 25 counter. That's all they did. Bianco took a jab step to his right before coming to his left. Had a couple of pulling offensive linemen in front of him. Was able to pick up yards on first down.
Fred, a week ago we saw the Chartiers Valley Colts only able to put together 34 yards of offense. Today, Alex Bianco by himself has rushed for 103 yards.
Yeah, and that's just a great blocking scheme that Hampton has. And they're able to put a man on a man, and hopefully their running backs will pick up some good yards.
Again, motion man from right to left is Tyler Steedle. As Anderson rolls to his right, he's going to step forward. He'll be wrapped and brought down, crossing the line of scrimmage. Pickup of maybe a yard before the tackle made by Deontay Robertson.
And that's probably the first time all game that Woodland Hills didn't fall for the play fake by Anderson. Deontay Robinson stayed at home, made sure that Anderson wasn't going to make a pass, and then decided to engage him as he came across the line for the tackle.
Just over 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Woodland Hills holds a 20-point lead over Hampton. Running to the left is the tailback Alex Bianco, and he's got near first down yardage. He will pick up about 8. The Talbots needed 9, though, and that brings up 3rd down and 1.
And again, Hampton Talbots are really working the left side of that offensive line, of their offensive line. Just doing a great job of taking the ball from the quarterback, finding a nice little running lane, and picking up good yards.
And off going to the fullback, Blaze Smith. He's got the first down inside of the Woodland Hills 45 to around the 43-yard line. It'll depend on where they spot the ball, but either way, it's enough for a Hampton first down at the Woodland Hills 44, a gain of 2 for Smith.
Yeah, and those are important 2 yards because he just really fell over the line of scrimmage plus to pick up the first down, and that's just really good job by the offensive line of Hampton of pushing around the front 4 of Woodland Hills.
1st and 10 as Anderson steps under center. Sends a man in motion from left to right. In Steedle. Handoff goes to the tailback, Alex Bianco, and Bianco will drive his way to the 41-yard line before being brought down. Attack on the play by Nazir Taylor.
Bianco fighting his way near the 41-yard line.
So a pickup of 3, and it's 2nd down and 7 for Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton's not running anything confusing other than the naked boot. They're pretty much in your face the entire time, and Hills hasn't. The coaching staff hasn't figured out a way to stop this offensive running attack.
Again, Steedle motioning this time from right to left. Pitch to the left. It's Bianco, the ball carrier. He'll carry him off of one of his own teammates, stepping out of bounds along the far boundary. Close to first down yardage, but they'll say he actually steps out shy of the marker at the 37-yard line. It looked like he had dove towards the flag, but the officials say he steps out early, and a pickup on that play of just about 4 brings up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, the only player that really held up Bianco from picking up that first down was his offensive lineman, number 68, Carson Edders, I'm sorry.
So 3rd and 3 for Hampton. Clock stopped with 5:12 to play in quarter number 3. Anderson under center, sends Steedle in motion from right to left. Anderson hands off, Bianco running right, spinning his way forward. He's close to the first down. Marker, the ball sprang free. I think it was ripped loose by Rodney Denard. Did the Wolverines dive on it? The officials unpiling, and it's Woodland Hills coming out of the pile with the football. Rodney Denard with the strip. The Wolverines recover and give Woodland Hills the football at their own 37-yard line.
I'm really surprised it took this long into the game for the first fumble to happen. You know, with the rain that we saw pre-game, the field still being a little wet, and certainly that ball is going to be wet. And it was, fortunate for Woodland Hills. I see Paige Jones might have pulled that, or Rodney Denard.
Yeah, it was Denard. Amir Collins came in there to hold him up after Denard made the initial contact, and that gave Denard the opportunity to rip it free, and then the Wolverines dove on it. Handoff, Jawan Hill running right, and he will be met in the backfield and hauled down inside of the 35-yard line. They'll say that Hill got to the 35, but no further, so it'll be a loss of 2.
Yeah, the defensive line and linebackers for Hampton did a good job of really reading that play. It looked like it was, again, another slow developing running play for Woodland Hills, and Hampton was able to sniff it out.
Loss of about 2 on the play, 2nd and 12, Woodland Hills.
So Woodland Hills 2nd down and 12 with the ball at their own 35. Trips to the left as Jones stays in at quarterback. He'll roll to his left and shoves the ball forward, and they will say it's an incomplete pass. I mean, there's no other way to call it. It may be a chest pass, but it's still an incomplete forward pass, and that saves the Woodland Hills Wolverines a lot of yardage, and it'll be 3rd and 12.
Look looked like it was a designed slip screen to Derek Caraway, but Jones had his eyes set downfield, which it wasn't a bad idea because he had one-on-one coverage on his right-hand side with no over-the-top safety help, which he could have just laid it out there. But the pressure by the defensive line and linebackers of Hampton really got to him.
Clock stopped, 4:17 to play in the third quarter. Woodland Hills up by 20. Wolverines facing a 3rd and 12 at their own 35, trying to take advantage of a fumble by Alex Bianco. Trips left, one receiver to the right. Jones looking right the whole way, and he'll throw it right into the awaiting arms of the linebacker, Blaze Smith, and Smith down that far sideline, finally forced out of bounds inside of the Woodland Hills 30 at the 26-yard line.
And Blaze Smith did a good job of just reading the quarterback's eyes. He read Daniel Jones' eyes. He knew he had one-on-one outside coverage, decided to drop back in what we call a hook to curl for linebackers, and got right in the way of that football.
Interception at the 44-yard line, and a very nice return of 18 yards sets up Hampton at the Woodland Hills 26-yard line. .409 to play in the third quarter. Hampton with the ball 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Bianco. He runs left. He's picking up positive yardage down towards the 20. They'll say he's down at the 21-yard line. A pickup of 5.
Defense by Jones.
And this is the type of momentum that Hampton needs. Being down by 20, there's still a lot of ball game left to go. Those guys can't really give up. Conversely, for Woodland Hills, they really need to make a stop against this Talbot offense if they're going to want to, continue to put some points on the board and gain some momentum.
Alex Bianco now with 125 yards, but he does have a fumble lost on the last drive. This time he'll be wrestled down in the backfield about a yard deep. Jumping on his back went a Wolverine, and it's a loss of about 1 at the 22.
Adam, as we're sitting here talking, I have not seen either offensively or defensively Saeed Holt much in this ball game, so I'm not exactly sure what happened or at what point it happened, but right now it looks like your safeties are Rodney Denard and Nazir Taylor, which one of those safety spots are usually occupied by Holt.
That was something that somebody pointed out to me at halftime, and I neglected to mention. Thanks for getting to that, Fred. Running to the left goes Bianco, and he will be contacted right around the line of scrimmage, but still able to drive his way forward for a gain of about 2 to the 20, and that will bring up 4th down and about 4.
I'm looking to see if Coach D'Amato is going to put in his field goal unit, but that is not the case.
So this is 4th down and 4 for the Hampton Talbots, the ball at the Woodland Hills 20-yard line. We saw the Wolverines back in the first half stymie a Hampton drive, forcing a turnover on downs at their own 1-yard line. Let's see what the Wolverine defense can do here with the Talbots facing a 4th and 4 at the Woodland Hills 20. Anderson off of play action. Drops back, he's pressured, he's rolling to the right. He will not escape Austin Balashek. No, he will somehow, but now a second wave of Wolverines comes in there, and Deontay Robertson will make the stop back at the 32-yard line, but Balashek was the initial pressure, and then the second wave of Wolverines were able to come in there and make the play.
And I'm not sure if that's exactly the right call that the Hampton coaches would want to make, considering they've been so successful with the run, especially off the left side of the offensive line. Why not go back to it? I mean, you're only 4th and 4. You're deep in, Woodland Hills territory. You try to gut it out. Don't go for a pass where obviously a sack or an interception can take place.
So Balashek was the first player there, then DeVega Bird, then we saw Michael McAllister with an opportunity, but finally it was Deontay Robertson getting the sack at the 32, and the Wolverines get the ball on the turnover on downs. End around, running from left to right, Rodney Denard. He'll slide his way forward, crossing the 35 to the 36 before being slammed down.
It's a pretty impressive run by Rodney Denard, considering he was hemmed in around the line of scrimmage, but was able to squeak out another 3 or 4 yards before it was being brought to the turf.
So a gain of about 4,
Wolverines.
and it's second down and 6. Pistol formation again. Handoff goes to the tailback Hill. He's got a crease. He's across the 50, still on his feet to the 45, to the 40, spinning his way to the 45-yard line, and a nice run by Jawan Hill for a big first down into Hampton territory.
Yeah, Jawan Hill just took that ball from Daniel Jones and ran right up the middle of the Hampton Talbot defense before breaking it outside and picking up good yards for the first down.
29-yard carry for Jawan Hill, and he's now well over the century mark. 123 yards and 3 touchdowns for Jawan Hill as the rain has started to fall again. Jones looking left, throwing left. The pass intended for Derek Carraway is incomplete. And a little slip screen, and the incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if that ball slipped out of the hands of Daniel Jones or if Derek Carraway slipped before he could get to the football, but it was just a really sloppy play by the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
2nd and 10 for Woody High. The ball at the Hampton 35-yard line. Line to gain is the Hampton 25. Woodland Hills starting this drive at their own 32-yard line after forcing a turnover on downs. Jones sets, pressure, now rolls to his left. He'll throw to the near boundary, and the pass is complete along the near sideline. With the catch is Deontay Robertson. No, that time it's Eric Oliver on the reception. 16, not 18, or 19 rather.
And good job of Eric Oliver, really seeing that there was pressure on Daniel Jones and finding a little soft spot in the Hampton Talbot defense, their zone, and good throw on the run by Daniel Jones.
Handoff goes to Jawan Hill. No, it's Jones is going to keep it running left inside the 10, the 5. He'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
And Daniel Jones did a great job of the zone read on that play. He watched the defensive end, saw what he was doing as that play developed, and had the ball into the belly of his running back, pulled it out last second, and got another great block by Abramovitz on the outside on his way into the end zone.
Everybody in the stadium thought that ball was going to Jawan Hill, but like you said, he did a great job pulling it out of the belly of Hill and raced to the left-hand side for that 17-yard touchdown. Chucky Hampton on to attempt the point after touchdown as flags fly before the snap.
Prior to the snap, false start by the offense. 5-yard penalty remains the try.
So we'll see a point after touchdown a little bit further back now. It'll be a 25-yard PAT attempt for Hanchett. McAllister, good snap, good hold by Whitehurst, and that kick by Hanchett would have been good from about 45 yards. So the PAT up and in, and the Wolverines lead the Hampton Talbots 34-7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports, the Woodland Hills Football Network. 34-7, Woodland Hills now leads the Hampton Talbots as Daniel Jones has been very impressive here in half number 2. Not only throwing the football, but there on that 17-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, again, definitely a nice read. He saw that the linebacker or defensive end was coming right for the running back, decided to pull it out. Again, got a nice block downfield by Abramovitz and walks right into the end zone.
An over-end kick by Hanchett falls through the hands of Bianco at the 10. He will scoop it up, though, driving his way across the 25 out towards the 30 before being brought down by Jalen Hollerway. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Hampton Talbots with the football at their own 28-yard line.
I was looking to see if there might have been a change at quarterback, but I think they're going to go with Anderson throughout the course of this game, and really he hasn't done a bad job, with the exception of one bad pass that was intercepted by Derek Carraway. Has had a pretty solid game.
And you have to consider that Carraway, while he did have a nice return on that INT, did intercept that ball at the 4-yard line. So So Hampton starts this drive at their own 28 with 28 seconds to play in the third quarter. Rolling to the right is Anderson. He'll dump it off to Tyler Steedle, who will carry the ball across the 30 before being hammered to the turf by a pair of Wolverines. A pickup of about 3 on that play, and it's 2nd down and 7 for Hampton.
And Jawan Hill made the initial contact with the receiver, and then Roger Bernard came and cleaned up the play.
About 3 on the play.
Third catch of the game for Steedle. He now has 19 yards on 3 catches.
Alpha, 2nd and 7.
Meanwhile, Ross Anderson has yet to throw an incomplete pass. He has thrown 1 interception and is 4 of 5 in total. Motion man from right to left. As the handoff will go to Alex Bianco, and this time he is undercut initially by one Wolverine, and then Ashid Page Jones slams into the turf for a gain of just about 1 or 2.
And that's the activity by the linebackers for Woodland Hills that you kind of expected going into this game that you haven't seen. But certainly that's the type of tackles they need to get through this ballgame.
That's the end of the third quarter. We head to the 4th frame with Woodland Hills leading the Hampton Talbots 34-7. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Time to take a look at the MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10. Woodland Hills moves up from 5th to 4th this week. West Allegheny still atop the rankings, while Upper St. Clair is 2nd. Penn Trafford currently 3rd, but they trail the Gateway Gators in their conference game, so they may slip down should they lose that football game. Armstrong currently ranked number 5. Hampton Talbots facing a 3rd down and 5. The ball at their own 33-yard line as we are set to begin quarter number 4. Woodland Hills leading Hampton 34-7. High backfield behind Anderson. Bianco dots the I while Blaze Smith is the fullback. Motion man from left to right, Tyler Steedle, who was shaken up moments ago. Play action as Anderson looks to the right-hand side. He'll dump it off to Tyler Steedle. He'll be hauled down in the backfield. Nice solo tackle on that far sideline by Rodney Denard.
And Rodney Denard coming up from the safety position, read the play early, and then once he read that play, Steedle made the catch, and Rodney Denard just pushed him, knocked him right out of bounds.
So a completed pass for a loss of 3, and the punt unit on for the Hampton Talbots. Sam Worling on to boot it away. Back deep to return is Derek Caraway, who has 1 punt return for a touchdown today. And this snap sails over the head of Worling. Worling retreating. He'll kick it out of the back of the end zone, and it will be a safety for the Wolverines. Now you saw the flag come in if you're watching this game.
Illegal kicking of the football in the end zone. The result of the play is a safety. After penalty, it's still a safety.
Well, there you go. Bill Heidkamp all over it. And Bill Heidkamp, a couple years back, was the referee for the Woodland Hills game against Central Catholic at Heinz Field. And obviously we recall the very, very strange play that he and his crew were all over as far as the punt not going beyond the line of scrimmage because of the wind at Heinz Field that day. Central Catholic was able to scoop up the football and race for a touchdown.
Yeah, well, also the contributor to that play was the coaches on the Central Catholic sideline screaming at their players to get the football and start running. But it was a great job. It was a great call, and it was the correct call against the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
So Woodland Hills will get the ball back again. A bad snap on a punt. Sails over the head of Sam Worling, who smartly kicked it out of the back of the end zone for a safety. And Woodland Hills getting 2 more points now leads the Hampton Talbots 36-7. Worling gets underneath this one, end over end kick. Will bounce a few times before finally being scooped up by Derek Caraway around the 28-yard line. Caraway dancing as he crosses the 30. A flag comes in as Caraway is wrapped up in midair and brought down around the 45-yard line. We'll check in with Bill Heidkamp to see what the flag was for. Again, next up for Woodland Hills, conference game against the North Hills Indians next Friday. A game at Martirelli Stadium.
During the return, blocking it back by the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So back to the Woodland Hills game at North Hills next Friday night. Kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock. Our coverage starting on the MSA Sports Network around 6:35. Our live video coverage will start on Facebook around 6:55. And, of course, we'll have TV replays on all of our television affiliates as well as on our YouTube channel. Woodland Hills drive starting at their own 19. 11:39 to play in the fourth quarter. New quarterback in for Woodland Hills as a new tailback is in there as well, and Jaquan Smith. As Smith will be met at the line of scrimmage and brought down.
Yeah, it looks like Israel Reed, number 15, is coming into this ball game to finish it up at the quarterback position.
Smith tackled by Mike Yakin of Hampton.
Clock winds to just over 11 minutes to play. Woodland Hills leading Hampton 36-7. Izzy Reed looking to the near side right. He'll complete the pass, getting underneath it, Rodney Denard, and the Wolverines have the first down. This passing game rolling today against the Hampton Talbots.
And Israel Reed throwing a very pretty spiral to Rodney Denard, and good job of Rodney Denard of keeping his concentration as he made the catch and being hit by a Talbot defender before being brought to the turf.
26-yard completion by Izzy Reed.
A message from the Carroll Creek Police. There's a white Toyota Highlander. West Virginia place needs to be moved in the upper lawn immediately. I'll get you the license plate.
Izzy Reed and pistol. Hands off. Jaquan Smith running the counter to the left. He's got some yardage across the 50. He'll drag his way forward. Boy, he got near that first down. What strength by Jaquan Smith. We're usually used to seeing him being shifty and fast. There he showed strength, dragging a Talbot for a Woody High first down.
Yeah, after being contacted initially around the, I'd say 48-yard line. Broke free from that hit, and then immediately had another Talbot defender on his back, and then dragged him across the 45-yard line for the first down.
First and 10 for Woodland Hills. The football at the 45. Jaquan Smith hesitates, spins, goes to the far sideline. He'll pick up positive yardage, as initially it looked like the Talbots were going to make the play in the backfield. Somehow Smith picks up 2.
Well, again, Jaquan Smith being the, third or fourth running back, depending on what Rodney Denard's really doing, to be honest with you. But, again, doing a great job of hitting the X button, spinning out, and picking up a couple yards on first down.
2nd and 8 for Woodland Hills. The football at the 43-yard line. Izzy Reed in the pistol, looking left the whole way, throwing left, and the pass is complete down that far sideline. Woodland Hills got the first down inside of the 30 to the 26-yard line. Nazir Taylor on the reception for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, we're so used to Nazir Taylor playing safety and doing a great job on defense that we forget he's got some pass catching ability as well.
16-yard reception for Israel, pass completion for Israel Reed, and the reception by Nazir Taylor.
And I was looking at the ball as it came out of Israel Reed's hands. He wasn't even using the laces on that last play.
Hand off. Smith runs right. Steps forward. Inside of the 20, inside of the 15 to the far sideline. He'll go into the end zone unscathed for a 27-yard Woodland Hills touchdown.
Wow, did Jaquan Smith make that look easy. Basically took the ball off the right-hand side of the Woodland Hills offense, and there was a massive cutback lane that Jaquan Smith saw and exploited, and then walked right into the end zone for the touchdown.
39 yards in total for Smith on that 27-yard TD. Chucky Hanchett on to attempt the PAT. Woodland Hills right now up by 35, making a 36-point lead, and we move to the modified timekeeping system when we return. It's the Wolverines 43 and the Talbots 7. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills leads Hampton 43-7 with 8:48 to play in the fourth quarter. Jaquan Smith with a beautiful cutback on a 27-yard touchdown has extended this Woodland Hills lead to 36 points, and the clock will wind from now on here in quarter number 4. Things were a little dicey through the first quarter and a half, Fred, but the Wolverines certainly got their legs underneath them and have been able to get the distance from the Hampton Talbots.
Yeah, I would say the only soft spot in this Wolverine team would have been the running defense, which if you'd have told me that at the beginning of the game, I would have told you were crazy.
Tyler Steedle on the return for Hampton. Finally tripped up around the 17-yard line where the drive will start for the Hampton Talbots. Talking about that running attack for the Hampton Talbots, 128 yards today for Alex Bianco. He has certainly been the workhorse.
First of the half.
Wolverines use the timeout. We'll step away to 8:39 to play here in the fourth. It's the Wolverines leading the Talbots 43-7 on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. (43-7). Woodland Hills on top of the Hampton Talbots. 8:39 to play as the clock winds here in quarter number 4. Adam Dusky, Fred Guy on the call for you. You're on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. New offense, new defense out there for both of these teams as Max Obenrader is the new quarterback for Hampton as a flag flies in.
Before the snap, encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Fred, I think the reserve defensive line for Woodland Hills fell victim to what the starting defensive line did early in the football game. They are not accustomed to a quarterback stepping under center, calling down, and that offensive line going from a 2-point stance to a 3-point stance, causing that early movement. Right backfield again. And a flag comes in. And this may be delay of game. Or does Woodland Hills have too many players on the field? Yes, the Wolverines do.
Prior to the snap, illegal substitution, 12 men on the field by the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down. Timeout, Woodland Hills.
So Wolverines call a timeout. It gives us a break to hear from Triangle Bar and Grill here in the second half. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Talbots on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. The world lost a great athlete this week in Arnold Palmer, Western Pennsylvania native. And that rainbow-colored umbrella below us, and we think of Arnie as we come back to live action. The Wolverines on top of the Hampton Talbots by 36 points. Handoff going to Max Smith, the reserve tailback for Hampton, and Smith will drive his way across the 35 to the 36-yard line, a gain of 9.
Hey, good job of Smith, really just taking the ball right off the left side of his offensive line. I guess the reserves have that strong left side as well because they really have taken advantage of it so far in this ballgame.
Obenrader under center, hands off. Smith, the ball carrier. He has the first down for Hampton as he crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 5 on that play.
Yeah, I don't think that the reserve unit's going to be doing much passing in this ballgame. So if the reserve Wolverines have that understanding, they really need to start stepping up and making some plays.
Ball's on the 42-yard line. Hampton, first and 10.
Hampton out of the huddle when first down and 10. Receivers split to either side in an I backfield. Obenroder hands off. Smith this time met by Sidney Summers at the line of scrimmage. 2 straight tackles for Summers. This one for a gain of just 1 for the Talbots.
Yeah, and Sidney Summers just read that play directly from his middle linebacker position, saw the guard moving, decided to come up and really fill the hole, fill the gap that the running back was trying to go through.
Thomas Sheard also involved in that tackle, the 6'3", 207-pound defensive lineman. Motion man from left to right as Obenroder steps under center. He'll hand off, and again, Sidney Summers makes the play as he just absolutely explodes through the tailback, 1 yard deep in the backfield.
I think he took offense to those first couple of plays by the Hampton Talbots, where they were able to pick up some good yardage. The last 3 plays, Sidney Summers really finding that open gap and just filling it fast as well, not to mention.
Sidney Summers, 5'9", 187 pounds. A sophomore for the Wolverines.
A little side note that Sidney Summers' mom is Lisa Bavard, who was a very well-accomplished softball player at Woodland Hills in her day.
Wow. I did not know that. As running to the left-hand side is the substitute quarterback, Max Obenroder. He'll step out of bounds at the 49-yard line and pick up on that play of 8. And it is 4th down and 2.
And there's really no sense of bringing the punt team on now. With the way the score is, you got a running clock. You might as well just keep these guys out here for some experience on 4th down.
4th and 2, Talbots.
High backfield behind Obenroder. Hard count, and the Wolverines breach the neutral zone. And it'll be a first down for the Talbots.
Prior to the snap, yard penalty results in first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hampton at the Woodland Hills 46-yard line. Clock continues to wind with just over 4 minutes to play. And, Fred, when you talked about Sidney Summers, son of one of our former teammates, and the son of Lisa Brevard, you start to feel a little old when a lot of our high school classmates now have players playing for the Wolverines.
Yeah, certainly. We saw it a lot last year with Amir Cobbs, son of Wolverine great Melvin Cobbs. So I guess it's getting to that time where we're getting up there in age, and we're going to see, sons playing on the team of former teammates, former classmates. So it should be interesting over the next couple of years to see what names we're going to call out next.
Sidney Summers yet again on the tackle as Smith the ball carrier. Smith picking up 2 yards there, and he has 17 yards on a handful of carries. I'll tell you what, Fred, Sidney Summers, just a sophomore, looks like he's got a really great future at linebacker for Woodland Hills. Last week and this week came in and made a lot of explosive plays from that middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, good instincts at a young age, able to see things develop, and that's what you need out of an inside linebacker.
Handoff again to Smith. No, good play action fake by Obenroder as he rolls to the right-hand side. He will be wrapped and brought down in the backfield. A pair of Wolverines on the play, including Tavian Brooks. And it is a loss of about 2, and it is 3rd down and 10.
I think that other Wolverine that you didn't mention was Sidney Summers.
So it's a loss of 2 there. Now 2 carries for 6 yards for Obenroder, the reserve quarterback for Hampton. Just over 2 minutes to play. The Wolverines holding a 36-point lead over Hampton. Obenrotter fumbles the snap. He'll scoop it up before being shoved to the turf by a pair of Wolverines making the stop. Anthony Bullock also in on the tackle is a young man who unfortunately not on our roster wearing number 60. Well, you'd think the guy that hands out jerseys that also gives us our rosters may have told us about that.
I guess they neglected to tell us yet again.
That's all right. We'll tell them about it after the game. A loss of 2 on that play on the fumbled snap. Just under 90 seconds to go here as Woodland Hills on top of the Hampton Talbots by 36 points. Second teamers abound on both sides of the line of scrimmage as Obenrotter drops back, looks to the right-hand side. Jump ball action, and the pass is caught over there on that far sideline by the Hampton receiver, Will Schuett, but he is well out of bounds. And the turnover on downs gives Woody High the football at the Wolverines' 48-yard line.
Yeah, good job of the Wolverine reserve defense coming in. And, you know, Hampton was able to move the ball a little bit, but they have a little bit of a bend but don't break type of mentality themselves.
Woodland Hills football, 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line.
Less than a minute to play as the Wolverine offense is out there. We may see a play or two from this Woodland Hills reserve offense. Clock winding to 45 seconds to go here. Woodland Hills taking on North Hills next Friday night. Kickoff at 7. Our coverage starting at 6:35 on MSA Sports. And on our Facebook page at around 6:55 as Izzy Reed takes the knee. And we will see the officials set the ball, and they'll chop the play clock in with about 20 seconds to go, and that will do it. Again, the final score, 43-7. Woodland Hills defeats the Hampton Talbots. And Fred, we talked about that a bit once the game got out of hand on how Woodland Hills, they found a challenge in the Hampton Talbots early on, but then they got their legs underneath them and were able to shut down the Talbots, other than some good running by their tailback, Alex Bianco. And in addition to that, the offense really got rolling.
You know, with the way they played last week, and you see Hampton coming in for the season, they might have had a little bit of overconfidence coming into this ball game. And then once they saw that Hampton wasn't a team that was just going to get pushed around by the Wolverines, they started to play a lot harder and got themselves the points that they needed and to put in the reserves and let those guys get some playing time.
I really thought Juwan Hill had a terrific football game for the Wolverines today. Over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, and obviously we don't usually do this during the television broadcast, but he's got to be our State Senator Jay Costa Player of the Game.
Yeah, with the absence of Saeed Holt throughout the course, through much of the game, Juwan Hill stepped up from the running back position and a little bit on the defensive side as well. So there's no reason why why he shouldn't be the player of the game with the touchdowns, the 3 touchdowns that he's had, and the yardage that he was able to amass.
How about these passing yards by Woodland Hills? Mike Whitehurst with 76 yards passing, Daniel Smith with 61 yards passing, and 42 yards passing by Izzy Reed. By far the best game in the year for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, and that's something that they really need to work on going into the latter half of the season. We're so used to seeing a Wolverine team being one-dimensional come the end of the season, and they haven't really worked on their passing game. Now's an opportunity over the next few weeks to really get some air under the ball, get these guys comfortable being back there in the pocket, and putting up some points by way of the pass.
Next week, Woodland Hills takes on the North Hills Indians. The game will kick off at 7 o'clock. Our coverage starts at 6:35 on the MSA Sports Network, on Facebook starting around 6:55, and of course we'll have replays on all of our television affiliates. And Fred, huge conference road games coming up for Woodland Hills at North Hills and at Moon before they come home to take on 2 huge opponents in West Allegheny and Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, and really Woodland Hills gets back to familiar territories in terms of North Hills. Seen them over the past couple of years, whether it be in the regular season or the postseason. And then you have Moon, another team that you're not very familiar with, don't really don't really know what they have in terms of offensive firepower, but you're going to find out in a couple weeks for sure.
Folks, on the television side, we thank you for joining us for this WPIAL 5A conference game between Woodland Hills and Hampton as the Wolverines roll over the Hampton Talbots in the second half. Again, we'll join you next week from Martirelli Stadium in the North Hills as Woodland Hills takes on the North Hills Indians. For Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. We'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines roll over the Talbots here at the Wolverena tonight, 43-7, all across the Woodland Hills Football Network.